This video is going to show you how to make a simple banner in Photoshop, a banner for the web. All right, I'm going to create a new document. I'm going to make sure that I'm under web. Okay, I need to make sure that the correct dimensions are in for the banner. What you need to put in is 800 pixels by 180 pixels. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the artboard, so I'm going to decheck this. Make sure that your resolution is 72. You can pick what your background color is, whether you want it white, colored, or transparent. This time I'm going to go ahead and pick transparent, and I'm going to go ahead and create. Okay, now I've got the file for my banner. Okay, the assignment asks you to add a photo into your banner of an animal. So I'm going to go ahead and open up that photo. So I'm going to go File, Open. I've already saved it on my desktop right here. Okay, and this particular image doesn't have a background, which is actually really good for this banner assignment. To bring this image in, I'm going to go ahead and select the whole image. I'm going to go Edit, Copy. I'm going to flip back to my banner here, and I'm going to go Edit, Paste. Okay, I can see that puppy right here. I need to scale it down. In order to do that, there's no scale tool in Photoshop, but rather you need to transform the image. To transform, you go under the Edit menu and select either Free Transform or Transform Scale. Okay? When you do that, you get the image's bounding box. I can hold my Shift key and I can scale it down. Okay, it's disappearing from me, so I'm going to click in the middle and kind of move it back into place. I'm going to continue to scale it down, moving it up. I'm going to scale it down just a little bit more, maybe some more. Again, make sure that the Shift key is selected so you scale the image proportionally. When you're happy with how it looks, you can hit your Return key to place it in. You can still move it around if you like. All right, I do want to put a background color in my banner. To do that, I'm going to create a new layer. So in the Layer palette, okay, if the Layer palette's not available to you, don't forget to go under Window, Layers. Okay, here it is. I'm going to create a new layer, and this layer is going to be on top, and I actually want the color behind the dog. So I'm going to click and hold and drag this layer down. Now I want to fill it with color, so I'm going to click on the color chip here. It opens up the color picker. Again, I can pick the color that I want. I can even move outside of the color picker, and I can select a color from the dog here. I can get the range of color, and I can even go a little bit darker. When you're happy with the color that you selected, go ahead and say OK and fill the background again. Again, you can either use the paint bucket, which is right here, spill that color in, or you can go Edit, Fill, and then choose the background color. The banner also needs a simple shape from the shape tools. You can find those if you go down. If you find the black arrow, the actual tool beneath it has a sub-menu of custom shapes. Okay, when you've got that selected, you have to look up at the top here. In this case, you're probably going to have an arrow, but I've got something I already picked before. I'm going to click here, and I can see the ones that quickly import with Photoshop. If you want more icons or simple shapes, go to this gear icon, and you can see that you've got a variety that you can pick for. You can actually choose all that Photoshop gives you. If you choose all, you can go ahead and say Append, and it's going to append this palette, so you have a lot more to choose from. I actually still want to have the paw, so I'm going to go here and select the paw icon. Okay, I can go into the document with my Shift key held down, I'm going to pull. I don't see the paw right now because it's basically brown on brown. So I'm going to go up to the fill color and I'm going to go ahead and pick a color that makes sense to me. And I'll go ahead and choose that one. Okay. Now what I need to do is put text on this banner. I'm going to click to the top layer here and add another layer. Photoshop will add a layer above the layer that you have selected. And I want my text on the top. So with this selected, I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to go to my type tool. I'm going to come in and either click and type, or if you want to constrain the type in a box, you can click and pull. I'm going to call this, the text on my banner, Reston. Okay, I can see that my color's not showing up. So I'm going to select over it, go up here, and change the color, which I probably should have done first. I'm going to call it Reston Animal. Okay, I'm going to hit the return key. Hospital. Okay, now my type is all coming in all caps because I held down my shift key. If you want more type styles, you can come up the top and click on your character panel. It's going to launch this panel. You can select the size of your typeface by selecting over the type and going ahead and modifying it. You can pull this out a little bit more to show all your type. You can just change some of the type. Okay. When you're happy with how your type looks, you can go ahead and move it around. And actually, I still want to do some modifying. I think this icon is too big, so I'm going to go back to my layer palette where I see my shape here. By the way, you can make these thumbnails a little bit bigger. If you go to this drop-down menu here, or this hamburger, and choose panel options, you can actually increase the size of your thumbnails, and I think that's what I'm going to do. There, I can see it a little bit better. I'm going to close that panel. With this layer selected, I want to modify this, so I'm going to go Edit, Free Transform, and I can see the bounding box. I'm going to hold my Shift key down and I can transform it. That's pretty good. I'm going to hit my return key. I'm going to move this over. Okay, I'm going to look at my banner. I think I want to move my text over as well, and I actually think I want to make it bigger too. So I'm going to go Edit, Free Transform, and I'm going to scale my type up. That's pretty good. Okay, maybe move my dog in a different position. I need to select that layer and I'm going to move him around. If you want to put a style, again, you double click the layer, brings open the layer styles. Make sure you're on the correct layer that you want to add a style. Maybe I want to do, let me see, an outer glow. That might be fun. You've got different sliders here where you can make adjustments. You could add noise, spread, size. I'll leave it at that. Makes them look like, makes them look interesting. All right. After you're done with your banner, you need to save it out for the web. First, you really should be saving your Photoshop file. So go File, Save. I'm going to navigate to my USB. Art116, my Photoshop file. So I'm going to go ahead and change the name to My Banner and save. That's the layered Photoshop file, but that's not the file that I need for the web. To save it out or optimize it for the web, I need to go File, Export, Export As. The file format for your banner needs to be a JPEG, so make sure you're changing the file format. Okay? Go ahead and export all. Find your USB, Art116, your root or named folder, your image folder, and name the file appropriately. maybe I'll just add the dimensions, 800 by 180, and save.